Okay, so we just read this first excerpt, okay? Who can find me an appeal to ethos? Again, an appeal to credibility. Are you a good person? Do you know what you're talking about? How is Old Major appealing to ethos here? What was it? Jeremiah? Got an idea?
Isn't it like, it is my duty to pass on to
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. It is my duty, right? He is honoring his commitment, right? It is my duty to pass on you. This is important too. Such wisdom as I have acquired, right? Again, he is an old pig, right? He's been around for some time. So remember, age is often kind of symbolic of wisdom, right? Older people tend to have more experiences, more truths about life, okay? Okay, find me another example that appeals to ethos. Tamika?
I understand the nature of life on this earth as well as any animal now living.
Yes, I understand the nature of life on this earth as well as any animal now living. Again, he is the authority about life. Very good. What's something else he does to like try to show his relationship with the other animals? Like, I'm someone you guys can trust. How else does he do that in this first excerpt?
He uses comrades.
Nice, comrades. Okay. That word comrades. Again, reminding us of his relationship. This is a guy we can trust. So that is all an appeal to ethos. Okay. What else could that comrades appeal to? Again, we're saying like, we're friends. So definitely ethos because it's establishing that trusting relationship. But also it should leave the animals feeling like comforted and so pathos, good. So I would highlight one in your ethos color and then one in your pathos color, just so you remember that it can be both. I know the annoying thing about annotating online is that we have to kind of choose one most of the time. Okay, my number one looks different than your number one. Pretend your number one is like mine. I forgot to change out. Typically, we read Julius Caesar first. I flip-flopped it and forgot to change out number one for you. So sorry. Pretend your number one says this. What is Old Major trying to achieve by starting his speech with comrades? What's he trying to do?
Connect with the audience.
He's trying to connect with his audience, right? And again, who's his audience? The animals, right? Connect with the audience, right? Reminding them of their relationship. Again, what he says they can trust because they're friends. Let's look at number 2. It says, Old Major claims to have had a dream last night, but he waits to talk about it, okay? It's like, oh, I have something really important to tell you guys, but let's wait on that. How would you feel as the audience? What's the effect of him waiting?
Intrigue.
Yes, he's building intrigue. Good. Right? He wants the animals like interested in that. So again, like it's building their curiosity. It's making them feel intrigued. So when he says like, oh, I have this strange dream, right? I'm going to say something else first. What do you think that appeals to most? What does that appeal to most when he says like this strange dream, but I'm going to wait to talk about it? Because again, it's building the curiosity. That would be pathos. Very good. Nice job, team. Come to that dream later. Find me one other example that really appeals to pathos. It kind of makes me sad.
He won't be here for long.
Yeah, he's like, hey, I'm gonna die very soon.
Ooh.
Oh, Old Major, we're gonna miss you, buddy. All right, now let's read excerpt 2. Okay, let's first find me a detail that strongly appeals to pathos.
What is pathos?
Pathos, remember, that's our emotion, feelings. What might like scare the animals?
Our lives are miserable.
Oh yeah, that for sure. Our lives are miserable, laborious, and short, right? Again, he's trying to like rile them up a little bit. He's trying to get them angry about how they're being mistreated with that pathos. Okay? Find me another one. What would you most be afraid of in this excerpt if you were an animal listening to this?
Slaughtered with hideous.
Yeah, right. Slaughtered with hideous cruelty. I think that is the big one there.
You mean like kill them for real? Like they gonna kill them?
Yeah, like those pigs are going to become bacon, right? That's what he's saying.
Why don't you just like they can't just skin it and just.
Okay, find me a line that's attempting to appeal to ethos. Again, ethos. Do you know what you're talking about? Why should we trust you? Are you an authority figure? Anyone other than Jemiah? Yeah, Jemiah just raised her other hand. What do you think?
No animal in England is free.
Okay, we're going to get to that one later. I wouldn't say that one's ethos. Jeremiah? Nice. That is the plain truth. He's like, hey, I'm just telling you the facts. All right, let's look at number 3. It says bold the pronouns. Okay, so remember, a noun is a person, place, thing, or idea. What's a pronoun?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, like he,
she, right? Those are the words that replace the noun. So if I said, like, Ellie woke up, Ellie brushed her teeth, Ellie ate cereal. I don't know why Ellie is eating cereal after brushing her teeth, but she did. Okay, right? It kind of gets redundant to keep saying Ellie, 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 right? So we could replace Ellie with what pronoun? She would be appropriate. So let's look at our pronouns. We're gonna bold them. So, where's the pronouns that you're seeing?
He, after he is a year old.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're right. Okay, we'll bold that one. What else? Us. Okay, so bold all the S's. Remember, you just highlight it, and you can do Control B, or you can highlight it and click on the bold button up top.
Would it be ours?
Our, right? Ours. Yes. We have our, us. Seeing any more? Our, us. What's my other one that's being used a lot? Oh, we got our. You're missing one big one. We.
Where do you see that?
We are born.
We are slaughtered.
We are given. Oh, we are slaughtered. Oh, man.
That's unfortunate for them.
Okay, so apart from this he, I'm going to unbold it because that's not really, it is a pronoun, but it's not proving our point here. Okay, what is Old Major trying to achieve by using pronouns like our, us, and we?
Like, it's not just happening to one animal, it's to all of us.
Nice. He's like, this is happening to all of us, including me, the speaker, right? Again, he is uniting himself in a way with the animals. So what do you think that appeals to most? He's like, we're in this together. I'm one of you.
Logic?
Not logic. Again, he's like trying to prove to them that, like, I'm someone you can trust because this is my battle too. Emotion or which one? Yeah, or credibility. So you can highlight that in either your ethos or your pathos color. I'm going to choose the ethos one.
Can I just do orange, like to mix the color?
No, not orange, because we're going to do orange for a different one. But I like you trying to mix the colors. You little painter. Okay. Smart move. Oh, I just made that. All right, good enough. Okay, and then make sure you answer there number 3, right? He is uniting himself with the other animals. All right, look at number 4, anaphora. Remember, one of my favorite devices. It's the repetition of a word or phrase at the beginning of a clause. So at like the beginning of a sentence would be anaphora. Okay, where do you see repetition at the beginning of a sentence? It's repeated twice.
Wait,
Say it again, Tamika.
No animal.
No animal where? No animal in England, right? That whole thing is.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Let's highlight that in our anaphora color. That's green. No animal in England. No animal in England. What is the purpose of this anaphora? What is he trying to suggest about the problem?
It's happening everywhere.
It's happening everywhere in England, right? He's like trying to emphasize the extent of the problem. Like, it's not just here on Manor Farm, right? Like, it's everywhere in England. how might he have made this an even bigger problem?
Everywhere
Like no animal in what?
in the United States.
Well,
England.
like the world. You know what I mean? No animal in the world knows this. No animal in the world. That would have expanded it even more, right? Yeah, make sure you answer for it. It's emphasizing the extent of the problem, right? This problem, this mistreatment of animals, is more than just manor farm, right? It's everywhere. Okay, for 5, we're just brainstorming. What are some really famous speeches that use anaphora? Can you think of anything?
Like what you mean?
Yeah, what?
I have a dream.
Oh my God, that's the one I was thinking of. I have a dream, right? Right, and then he would just repeat, I have a dream, da 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 da. All right, number 6 is asking for rule of 2. It's been since first semester since we even talked about this one. Do you guys remember what that is? Rule of 2? Remember, just when it's like, my students are nice and funny, right? You place just 2 things next to each other like that. The reason rule of 2 and rule of 3 are so effective is because, like, psychologically, your mind can memorize things grouped together in 2s and 3s more than other groupings, okay? So that's why that's used a lot. Where do you see it, Ellie? Oh my gosh, there you go. The life of an animal is misery and slavery. Okay, we see it there. The one that Jeremiah pointed out earlier, that's just a rule of 3, right? We've talked about that before. Miserable, laborious, and short. So we can keep that in our pathos color. But misery and slavery, that's also obviously an appeal to pathos. Again, what's the effect? How are our animals supposed to feel?
Terrible.
Should make the animals, what? Someone said sad. Feel sad.
Terrified.
Scared. How else might you feel? You realize your whole life. Ooh, betrayed. Should they want to continue living this way?
No.
No, right? This should like help encourage them to want a change. Let's read this next excerpt. Let's look at number 7. Remind me, what's a rhetorical question?
A question that's not supposed to be answered.
Yeah, you don't expect, like, Old Major definitely does not expect these animals to, like, raise their little trotters and try and into a speech, right? Find me some rhetorical questions in here. The first sentence, right? But is it simply part of the order of nature? Do we see any more?
Oh, what is point?
Like, is this just life? Like, that's what he's asking there. What he asked another one right afterwards. Is it because, like, England, like, doesn't have enough resources, essentially, is what the second one is asking? Okay.
Wait, let me find one.
Yeah, I have one more in here. I
Um,
think just one.
um,
Uh-oh. She's looking.
oh, I found it.
Where?
Why then do we continue in this miserable condition?
Good. Why then do we continue in this miserable condition? Okay, what's the effect of these rhetorical questions? Let's first look at is this simply part of the order of nature? Like, is this just how life goes? Is it because England doesn't have enough land? Okay, the answer to these is obviously no. So he's trying to introduce the problem. What's our problem?
With the farmers ain't doing nothing for them.
Yeah, it's the farmers, right? Like, it's introducing that the problem is not the land, but the farmers. Right, with the humans, more specifically. All right, look at the second rhetorical, or I should say the third rhetorical question, because these first 2 are kind of grouped together. What's the purpose of the other ones? Why then do we continue in this miserable condition? What are the animals supposed to be thinking?
Like, why didn't we do something earlier?
Yeah, like what? Yeah, you're right. Like, we should do something, right? Motivate them to do something about the problem. All right, number 8 is asking about loaded language. Do you guys remember what loaded language is? Remember, those are words with really heavy connotation. So, like, words that have a lot of emotion attached to them. What's a word that should maybe outrage the animals? Make us feel like we cannot trust man.
Miserable condition.
In this one.
Oh.
Stolen is a good one. Nice. Let me find it. Why can't I find it? Where's it at?
Right under the last rhetorical question.
Aha, stolen. Yep, that's a good one. What is this going to appeal to? Ethos, pathos, or logos? Yeah, right. Definitely pathos. Okay, so let's, talk about that word, stolen. Okay. How should the animals respond to hearing that? Everything we make is stolen. How should they feel?
Betrayed.
Yeah, they should feel betrayed. Good. Okay, again, who is our enemy now?
Humans.
Yeah, this sets the humans up as the enemy. Right? They can't be trusted, right? They betrayed us. All right. 9 is asking about hyperbole. Remind me, what is hyperbole? An extreme exaggeration. Where do we see that in here? We're highlighting it green. Yeah, 1,000 times no. What's that going to appeal to? We're highlighting it green to identify it as a hyperbole, but emotion. Yeah, that should be pathos. Good.
Is there another one?
And this one is kind of answering the rhetorical question, right? He's saying, like, is our land just not good enough? Like, do we have not enough supplies? And he's saying, no, 1,000 times no. So what's the effect of that hyperbole? What's he trying to really emphasize about the animals and the life they're living? Yeah, it's not their fault, and they deserve a better life. Okay, do you guys remember what a fallacy is from semester 1? We talked about some fallacies during our night unit. Remember when we were analyzing that propaganda? Like we had the bandwagon technique, force and fear. Remember any of those? Either or. Do you remember those fallacies?
Yeah.
Okay. Another fallacy is like when you oversimplify something. Okay. How is Old Major doing that here?
What is that?
How is he oversimplifying their problem?
What do you mean by oversimplifying?
Like he's making it sound like all of our problems are just because of human, right? It's saying right here, this is our fallacy, right? Man is the only real enemy we have, especially this part. Remove man, and life's perfect, essentially, right? Why though does he want to use that fallacy? As the audience, right? The animals, how does that kind of encourage them to rebel? Like, how would you feel as an animal if he was like, this, and this, and this, and this, and this, those are our problems, and we need to do this, and this. It would, like, when you feel overwhelmed, like, oh my gosh, that's just too much. But now it's just, all we have to do is get rid of man. That's it. Simple. Okay? How is that kind of making the animals feel, you think?
Like, we need to get them back or something?
Yeah, we need to get them back. But if it's just this one thing we have to do, does it seem like something we can do?
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems it makes it seem simple. It helps build the animal's confidence that you're right, we can have a better life. Let's go do it, right? How do we say this? Be more specific by making the rebellion. There we go. Hold on, I'll move that up so you can see it. Boop, boop, boop. There